50 years ago this summer, Americans saw monumental highs and lows on July 18th, 1969. Senator Ted Kennedy drove his car off of a bridge on Chappaquiddick Island in Massachusetts. The crash killed his passenger, that's Mary Jo Kopechne. And just 2 days later, Americans went where no human had ever gone before.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon as the world watched in awe. Then in August, music fans and hippies, hippies we're calling them, descended on upstate New York.
They weren't all hippies.
Some were just music fans.
Really?
Descended on upstate New York for the 3-day Woodstock Music Festival. Author Elin Hilderbrand weaves these events into her new novel, Summer of '69. It focuses on a well-to-do Massachusetts family confronting its difficult past and present. Ellen, good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is your first historical novel.
My first historical novel, yes.
You write in the author's note that you weren't going for empirical truth, not truth as history tells it, but emotional truth. What did you mean by that?
Absolutely. So I wanted to have the novel be about my characters and not necessarily about, the issues. But I felt at the end like I was able to weave them together. So we have this family that is involved in the moon landing, that is involved in Chappaquiddick. That is
Were they hippies?
Woodstock plays a big part at the end. So I was able to weave all of the elements that make 1969 so unique into the novel.
But it seems personal because that's the year you were born, too.
That's right. So yes.
Does that year always stand out to you, that one year I didn't realize all that happened in the same year either, by the way.
Not only did it all happen in that year, but it happened the week I was born. Yeah. So I was born on July 17th, 1969, and on the 16th.
That's an epic week.
Yes, it was an epic week. It was Apollo 11. It was Chappaquiddick.
You have a twin? Twins play a role in this
I have a twin, and I was going to write the story of my own birth, but I had to move it up a day. So
you were so in a way you were telling your origin story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, my story of origin.
And one of the characters involves a 19-year-old, which also resonates with you, who's going off to war.
That's right. At the
character, Tiger character. Why does that resonate? That seems personal too.
So in the very beginning of the book, my main character, Kate, drops her son off. He's just been drafted into Vietnam, and I have a 19-year-old son. So I told Gayle earlier, it was easy to write that scene because I could imagine, and you have a teenage son, taking my son and dropping him off, knowing full well you may never see him again.
You have a line in the book where you're looking at everybody there and you say, somebody here, their son is not going to be coming home.
Right. It's indisputable that of all the parents dropping off, someone's not coming home.
That could be the last time that they see
And I haven't been able to read that scene at any of my readings or signings. It's just too difficult.
You know, what's also interesting is that back then you hit on racism. It was kind of an interesting twist to see the black family that thought the white people weren't good enough for their son. I thought that was interesting.
Exactly.
There's a Me Too movement.
Exactly.
And there also is how women are treated. You tied all of that together, too.
Absolutely. So the issues of 1969 are still present today. So the book feels really relevant, even though it's set 50 years ago.
Did you find writing an historical novel more challenging?
I did, but it was so interesting because my main source of research was asking people their memories. So I went to people who were alive, who were teenagers, who were young adults in 1969.
That would be fascinating.
And that was the greatest amount of research. I loved it.
Every time you come, Ellen, I'm always reminded when I first met you 5 years ago. She was here, guys, at the table the day before you were having a double mastectomy.
Wow.
Yes.
And I remember saying to you, how could you be here on the day before? And you said, well, what else would I do?
Right.
And I said, well, I would be home looking at my boobs, making just have one more look at them, or I'd be in the fetal position. You said, nope, I've already done that. You said, nope, I'm just going to go through this day like it's a normal day. I still marvel at that. So 5 years later, I'm thinking, you're looking pretty good. How you feeling, Ellen?
Thank you, Gayle. Well, I feel healthier, I feel happier, and I feel wiser.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Explain.
Well, I think I got a lot of gratitude, and I was able to really focus on the things that matter, only the things that matter.
Oh, that's so great.
Queen of the summer beach read, and the crown is still yours, it appears.
Yes.
All right, Elin Hilderbrand, thank you very much for being with us. Summer of '69 is on sale now, and you can read the first chapter by going to CBSThisMorning.com.